Hello, my name is Thor, and I would like to read a word that the Lord gave me some days ago. Jesus is coming soon. Are you ready? Yes, I am coming soon, says the Lord. Can't you see it? The birth pangs have gradually begun, and soon you will hear about wars and rumors of war, famine and plague, and earthquakes in diverse places. The most important thing I have told you about this time is that you should not be deceived, not by anyone. It's not without reason that I have said so clearly that you shall not let any man deceive you. Is it possible for you to take this to heart? It's also not without reason that my word says, do not take part in this world. This world is condemned, and you will perish with it if you do not heed my word. Let me remind you of John's revelation about coming out of Babylon. Babylon is not a conspiracy theory. Babylon is the ruling kingdom on earth, and they have the whole world in their hand for a little while, but soon it will collapse like a house of cards. And you will be pulled down with it if you have not separated yourself from this world before it happens. Who owns the house you are living in? Is it your own? Or is it the bank that owns it? What do you think would happen to the house you live in if you become unemployed and unable to pay? You will probably be thrown out without mercy. I am not over-exaggerating. See what's going on in the United States right now, right in front of your eyes. With 30 to 40 million people unemployed for 3 months now. What do you think will happen to those who cannot pay their rent 3 months from here, if this continues? You say, this is going to pass and God will deliver. I, the Lord, say, you have to read what it says in my word about what happens when I send the plague to your country. You can read 2 Chronicles 7:13 to 14. Has my people repented? Have you? Only a small remnant has sought closer to my face, while the vast majority live in denial, and do not believe that it is I who sent the plague that has troubled you for a while now. Wake up, my dear. This is just the beginning. How do you think it will be when I send the next wave? Are you ready for that? Do you have your house in order? Are your children saved? Are you friends with your spouse? Do you have anything unsettled with any person? Do you have any debts? Are you prepared for persecution under difficult living conditions? Can you manage to get food if you don't have no money? If you have to choose between the mark of the beast or starving to death with your family, what would you choose? Do you have more focus on what is going on in this world than where you are going to spend eternity? Is it possible to be my child and take the mark of the beast? These are difficult questions for some, and many choose to explain what my word says about this But no one should come to me and say that they were not warned about the mark of the beast. The newspapers and social media have been full of warnings in the recent months, so there is no excuse. Why do you think I am trying to warn you? Because I know what is coming, and because I know there will soon be no place to hide, except in me. Just as my people experienced in Egypt, I will punish this world system. Those who trusted in me were protected from the plagues I sent. Had they not sprinkled blood on the doorposts, they would have passed away together with the Egyptians. They would have perished too. Noah and his family were saved because of their faith, but the rest of the world perished in the flood. When my judgment is now raging all over the earth, there is only one place to hide, and that is in my Son, Jesus Christ. Therefore, do not be deceived. Believe in my Son and believe in me, and you shall live even if you die. Many will go through hard times, but fear not, for I have promised to be with you all of the days until the end of the world. Time is closing in, and soon it's the end of all things. And my wish is that you were all like the wise virgins who had oil on their lamps. They were allowed to go in and enter the wedding party with the groom, while the others had to stand outside where there was crying and gnashing of teeth. If you're able to put yourself in the same situation, it will help you, and you will be better prepared. If you believe so, that you have everything in order, you are saved, and you have your name written in the book of life, then it's of no use to you if you do not heed my word. Do I not have the power to erase your name from the book of life? Haven't you heard of the children of disobedience? Again, do not be deceived. This world is soaked in evil. It has no part in me. And if you have trusted in man, even though it's your own country's authorities, then it is no better than if Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had bowed down to Nebuchadnezzar. They had decided to follow me, no matter what the authorities said, and they were willing to die for me rather than bowing down for the king. Are you willing to go to jail rather than contaminate your body with a treacherous vaccine? Are you willing to starve rather than taking the mark of the beast? You have to decide what you want now while there is still time. If you have not settled your case with me before the persecution comes, it will be hard to resist the pressure. I'm not saying this to scare you, my children. I do what every one of you have done, as you do daily with your own children, when you warn them and exhort them to be careful not to end up in unfortunate circumstances. The world is about to change as suddenly as it did during the spring of 1940. Then the world went into a 5-year-long nightmare, and many experienced their freedom confiscated by a dictatorial authority. Just look at parts of Scandinavia. Norway and Denmark became Nazi-controlled overnight. Wake up, sleepers, and let Christ shine for you. Believe me, you do not want to find yourself asleep on your watch when the darkness of the night suddenly falls over the earth. If you do, then you will soon become a victim. I have called you to be victors, to live victoriously, even if it should cost you your life. My Son is coming soon, my Son Jesus Christ. Are you ready? God your Father, who loves you with an everlasting love.